Hello, today is Tuesday, September 10th, and I'm going to quickly go over with you what we did in class today. Make myself a little bit smaller there. So our target for today is to explain how the Declaration of Independence is a lot like a breakup letter, which seems really odd, but it is. We are breaking up with Great Britain. We are one of their colonies, and when a colony breaks away from its parent country, you do need to explain that. And a lot like a breakup letter, when you're breaking up with somebody, you should maybe explain a little bit why you're doing that. So we're comparing the two. So just bear that in mind, a little odd, but it works. So the word today is pursuit of happiness. This actually comes from the Declaration of Independence, and you may have heard it as life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So pursuit of happiness is the freedom to try to find joy and contentment in your life. So think about, for your picture, something that you find joy in or something that makes you content. Content means to be okay with. And then think of something the opposite. This is unique in our country that we have a government that tries to help us to find joy and not just be present and to be a member and to help our country, but for us personally to have something that we enjoy. Not always, and it doesn't mean that your life will always have joy, but it just means that you have the opportunities to have joy in your life or contentment. So we started class by, since most of us have never possibly written a breakup letter, which should be just fine. We brainstormed what we've seen in movies and what breakup letters, might entail in them. We'll use that to compare what was in the Declaration of Independence. So that's why we're doing that. You can see in the target sheet, we practice hand signals. The goal is by Friday to not need to look at the boards to know, what hand signal to use. We went over the 6th of the 7th important questions. What you're seeing up here, this is located in my Schoology account, my first week of school. But I'll get us quickly to the one that I'm focused on for today. And that's how will I be graded this year. And so I just want you to know a couple quick things. There's a variety of ways you're going to earn points. So if you're worried that I don't take tests well or that homework is hard for me, I mean, everything kind of gets mixed in, and a point is a point. And so, just do your best on everything is what I can say. The other part of this slide then is, how do I earn my grade? I bring this up because a lot of times I have students that say to me, well, is this graded? Do I need to do it? And I just want you to know that, like anything else in life, everything we practice helps us to help us to learn. So I put up the picture of my daughter at her piano recital, and she didn't just show up that day and do it. She had to practice for months on her songs to be able to perform in front of 100 people, just like you would if you're in football or volleyball or cross country or any sport. You practice and you don't get points for those practices. So I'm not saying you won't get points for homework and classwork and all of that, but all of those do help us with our assessments, our tests, our projects, our quizzes, all of that. So asking the question, do I need to do this? Is it important? Do I get points for it? The answer I'll always give is yes, it's very important. Yes, you need to do it. And I may even say, yes, you get points for it. And then I may not put it in the grade book because it's all important to me. Everything we do to practice helps us to learn. And ultimately, that's my end goal. We're learning stuff. And then the final thing I'll mention with that is that I typically use a scale that looks a lot like this for when I grade stuff. 3 is actually what we're striving for. That means we had very few errors, we understood what you were doing, and it made sense. And I could tell that by looking at your work. 2 means that I could tell you weren't solid 100%. You kind of knew, but you could probably have used a little help and then you would have gotten it. A 1 means that you kind of got it, but you had a lot of errors. So you may have thought you got it, but maybe didn't as well as you thought. A 1 means that maybe you didn't complete it, or unfortunately you had a lot of errors. And I would encourage you at the 2, 1, or 0 range to redo it, to fix it up, to make it better, and then to turn it in. And then I will look at it, and if it's at an improved level, you get your extra points. You'd be at a 3. A 4 I reserve for those times when students go above and beyond. Or it doesn't have to be just doing more. It could be that they understand the assignment to a deeper level, and I can just totally see that in what they're doing. And so that might earn you some extra credit. Think of this like you not only understand it, but you could teach it to other people. So that's what my scale is. And you'll see this in a lot of things, all the way from projects to assignments. Tests and quizzes are a little different, and we'll talk about that at another time when we get closer to one, actually. So that's the sixth question. We have one more to do tomorrow. And then the next part is I wanted to review the causes of the Revolutionary War. And we watched a video, and I can just show you. Oops, sorry, didn't go to the right place. Inside of in Schoology, in the Declaration of Independence folder. Yep, if it'll open up. Nothing happens as quickly as you want it to, that's for sure. There we go. There is a government YouTube link, and inside of that is a Schoolhouse Rocks No More Kings. And so that's what we watched to give us an idea of what were some of the causes of the Revolutionary War. What did the colonists have to complain about the king about? So we viewed that a couple times yesterday as well. And then we jotted that down on the board and in your notebook. And then we looked through the Declaration of Independence and kind of did some comparisons between what would be a breakup letter and what would be, what was found in the Declaration. We found that there's an introduction. Typically, in a letter you write somebody, or when you talk to somebody, you kind of start off the conversation. So that's what they did with the preamble. They started it off and kind of talked about why they needed to do this document. Then they had a section of natural rights. Well, that would be what you're looking for in a government, like what a government should provide for you. Just like, if you had a significant other, what you hope that they bring to the relationship. Then the next part is the complaint section. So this was really long, most students recognized. It was really super long, and it identified all the problems that we had with Great Britain, which would be probably what the problems you would have if you were breaking up with somebody. Finally, there is the statement of separation in the Declaration of Independence. And this statement basically separated us from Great Britain. It said, we're done. We don't want to be a part of this country anymore. We are the independent states, the United States. And we're our own government. Just like a person might do when they say we're done with a relationship, we want to be our own person. So yes, kind of an interesting way to compare the two. But technically, the Declaration of Independence, we're declaring our independence. We are breaking up with Great Britain. So if you think of it that way, at least you'll be on a good start. So then there was a video, or not, excuse me, a video. There was a PowerPoint that just summed up the 4 sections. And that is found in the Declaration of Independence folder right here, sections of the Declaration. And then we did an assignment. And this is just try it out and practice on assignment. It's called Sorting the Sections. Once you click into it, you're going to click on My Documents, and then you can even click on the Edit button, and it'll take you to a new screen. And what you're going to see is something that looks like, as soon as it pops up, like this. And this has the 4 sections that I mentioned. And then below it is actual, like these are today's language, but actual excerpts from the Declaration of Independence. So what you're going to do is read through it and figure out which column it goes to. So like this second one, they have on many occasions deprived us of the right to trial by jury. So they've taken away something from us. Well, that is referring to, something the colonists are not liking about the king currently. So it's a complaint. So you would put a 2 there. And you're going to fill in all of these boxes with something. Take your best educated guess. If you're right, that's great. I just want you to think through where it might go. So that's what the assignment was, so to speak. I had everybody submit it when at the end of the hour so we could practice submitting. And up here, once you go back to Schoology, there'll be a submit assignment button. So that's how you submit it. So you can go ahead and do that. And don't worry about if it's completely right or 100% done. Just work on it for 5 to 10 minutes or 5 to 7 minutes even. Just try it out. I just want to see that we get stuff submitted. Any questions, as always, come see me. Otherwise, have a great day.